Hello, I don't know who's out there, but good afternoon to you. I'm going to have a look at doing the eyes on this today. I am finding that they might be a little bit of a problem because the reference I have, as you can see, the eyes, there's not much showing on them. The lady who is getting me to do this picture has sent another photograph. It gives me more of an idea of the colour of the eyes, but not specifically. So as in most photographs, it's quite hard to see what you can see, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get my reference and try to pick out everything I can. It's going to be kind of dark and kind of covered up, so it's going to be an insinuation of what the eyes are like, if that makes sense. So here we go. So I've picked this blue. It's a kind of a turquoisey bluey grey. It's not really the colour of the eyes, but given that they're all in shadow anyway, it's lending itself more to this colour. So I'm just going to pick out some colour where I can. It's just an insinuation of colour, really, if I'm being perfectly honest. You don't want too much, I was going to spoil it, to be honest. If you are there and you feel like saying hello, please do. And by all means, get a super chat. I'd be absolutely elated. I've never had one yet, so I've only done a couple of live streams, haven't said that. But I just really like to see what happens more than anything. But it does help. All helps with my future endeavours, with any luck. So I'm just lightening that up slightly. And there you are. We've got a bit of colour in there now, more than we would have had if I'd just left them dark. But of course, a lot of this is probably going to get covered up anyway with eyelashes. So we'll just have to see what we can get and make it look as best we can. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. There's some colour there now, so that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with my black just to put the black detail in of the part that's round the eyes. There's probably a specific name for that. I have no idea what it is. Should do, really. It's a bit naughty not knowing that. Just getting the shape right and the colour tones right. It's very difficult, the reference I've got, but we will overcome. I see I've had a couple more people join me, so hi, good afternoon. please feel free to chat, and please feel free to get a super chat. I just want to see what one looks like. I know your comments will get highlighted and they'll take a special place. But until somebody ever gets one, I really don't know what happens with them. Goes into the top chat or something. Goes at the top and becomes very prominent. So anyway, let's carry on with this. I'm going to try where I can now to try and put some detailed work in with these eyelashes. Now, I did say that on my reference this was very difficult, and indeed it is. So really all you can kind of do is kind of make it look as best you can. I mean, 9 times out of 10 it ends up looking better than the photograph anyway when you're working from a photograph, so that's quite good. Hello, Sue. Okay, I kind of think that's really what I've got there now, if I'm being honest. Looking at the colours I've got, I think that's the closest I'm going to get. In all honesty, I don't think really you're going to notice it too much. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right. I'm just trying to put this in gently here to begin with. By the time all this is in, the eyes are not really going to be that noticeable, because it'll be quite dark around here. Just want to be careful to get the eyelashes correct as best I can. It's a very complicated part, this, because it's very dark around here and there's not a lot to work on. Right, you'll see me going backwards and forwards between different parts and different colours. I just want to alter that slightly. Just put a little bit more blue in there. Because it'll only annoy me if I don't. And what I'm also going to do is to define the shape a bit better. There, that's better. Put that in there. Sometimes you put things in and you have to cover them up anyway. But at least you know they were there. I think my wife's coming back, so get prepared for the dogs to start barking. There we go. She doesn't know I'm taping. Right, okay, so this is quite an interesting part for people who want to put black eyelashes in. If you're going against black, then they're going to be light. So, yeah, I'm on the video, Karen. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you not put my washing out? Did you? Hello,
Oh dear, I just got told off because I didn't put the wash out. Oh dear. There we go. Right, okay, there's a couple of insinuations of eyelashes there. Right, okay, we've got something here. Okay, right, that's that one. Pretty much done. Except for the infinity. And then ruin it and then have it start all over again. So just darken that up around there, because it is. Let's put a bit of black in there just to darken up what I've got. That won't stay dark like that. It'll all be blended in. Okay, let's have a look at the other eye. Again, it's quite a difficult one. Quite thick there. Thick underneath the eyelid. Going out to there and then just tailing off. Then this part here is quite dark, followed by that part there. No, I've got it wrong. There. Not that anybody'd notice. Okay. Ah, thank you, Alma. Thank you for that. I have no idea if you're a subscriber of mine because I can't see all my subscribers. So if you are, thank you. And at some point, if I'm being honest, I find the portraits quite easy to do. Now, sorry, that's not meant to be a big-headed comment. It's just, you know, I suppose some of us find some things easier than others. And I will, at some point, do a whole video on how I construct a portrait. Now, it might be that I've just got an easy way of doing it. So, at some point, undoubtedly, I will do that. Mind you, it is easy to get it wrong. Having said that, especially when there isn't much to pick up on. Along here, it's not going to be completely smooth because there's eyelashes coming out of there. So we just kind of a little bit of a wobble in there, so to speak, and then just make sure that it's not overdone. And then pick out the top highlights. Right, I'm just going to get my little blender. On one of the rare occasions I use it on its point, just touch everything where I want it. Usually I use a blender on its edge or on its bevel like that, because that's the best way to use them. But sometimes you need to use the point, and that's not often. Only in little detailed areas like this. Kind of got that bit wrong there, so I'm just going to have to try and alter that. Now, one of the easiest ways, if I can find a piece, is with a bit of blue tack. I've got a little bit here. Not very warm. It's better when it's warm. You keep it in your hands for a while. So I'm just going to pick that out there. Don't rub it, just push and lift it out so you can see the colour on there. Better than a putty rubber, especially when it's soft. There we go. It's got it to where I want it, so that's fine. So we'll just put in some colour here. Very fiddly. Let me back. What I had done is I hadn't quite got it thick enough here, and I hadn't quite got the curve on that. Sometimes when you want to make creases a bit thicker, it's good to use the blender on its point then. It makes the crease a bit thicker and a bit more subtle. That way you won't get such thick lines. Right. That's good. And that's good too. Just a couple of highlights in here. A little bit lighter above the crease. I will go back over this with colour. Well, I need to there because I just made a mistake. So I'm just going to pick that out. But once I've done all this, done the hair probably a bit more, I'll start going over with colour just to adjust everything to what I need it to be. Okay, let's have a look here. Made a couple of smudges there that I shouldn't have done. There we go, it's all part and parcel of the work. There we go, that's looking good now. That's looking a lot better. Just need to smooth it out. It's looking good there now. Liking it. Let's just get rid of them two smudges. Usually I'd probably just colour over it, but I'm being a bit particular with this, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, but I'm just probably worrying about it a bit more than normal. Just blend them two edges together with the pastel pencil. And just touch that in. There we go. That's not bad. Ready for adjustments later, probably. All the subtle highlights you have to try and find. Don't put a dirty hand on you where you shouldn't. Some days it's going to go easier than others. This might be a bit of a struggle today. Good. I'm just going to mix a bit of blue in with that. We don't want black particularly, so I'm just going to mix a bit of blue in with that and then just blend that together. So we can have a nice soft, subtle, but dark shadow. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's getting the depth we want. Okay. So where am I going to go now? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at these eyelashes, shall we? Let's get some darkness into them. Let's get a sepia colour. Yeah. And we're just going to put in the dark areas. Okay. just going to find a suitable brown. Reddy brown this is. And then I'm just going to put in a couple of tiny highlights. Hardly noticeable, but if they weren't there, you'd notice them. Okay. A bit naughty actually. I'm laying my hand over the top of that, and I really didn't ought to be doing that. So I'm going to have to find something to rest my hand on in a minute. Hadn't really given that a lot of thought, had I? Okay. I just want to put in some highlight around here, just to clean it up a bit. You might find that sometimes when you put your pictures down, they become a bit, especially pastels, they become a bit sort of blurred and jaded, so you just have to refreshen it up again, which is what I'm doing now. Sometimes it actually lends itself to your picture. That's my cat, if you can hear anything. Having fun in here by the sound of it. Okay, right. Got to try somehow to get some kind of very subtle lines in here. Very, very subtle, in fact. And then I've got to try and get some freckles in here as well. So that's going to be, again, difficult. Like I said the other day. I actually covered this over and took it into my living room. I covered it over with a one of them Amazon cardboard packets that they send their goods out in. I think that was probably the best idea, because I think it's just kind of made everything a bit jaded, unfortunately. So I'm having to freshen everything up at the moment, which is somewhat annoying. Right. Another subtle line, very subtle that is. You have to be very subtle with them, because especially if you're doing a younger person, I mean, they haven't really got lines on the face, have they? It's just got the odd one here and there sometimes. It's all part of the character, and if it wasn't there, it'd be a bit of a problem. But when it is there, if you make it too harsh, that's a problem as well. So we have to be a bit careful with that. Right. Okay, that'll do for now. Let's try and put some more freckles in. My favourite, not favourite part. See if I can find the right colour I did it with. Not that. Possibly that one. But probably... Now, there's a dilemma. Try it with this brown when I can find it. There we go. There we go. Yep. Okay. There's so many, but they're barely noticeable. So the thing you need to do is try and find the most prominent ones that lend themselves to the character of the person. So there's one there, just touching here. One there. Of course, when they first go on, they always look way too harsh, which is also not great. So you have to adjust them. In a picture like this, it's actually hard to tell what's freckle and what isn't. Of course, you don't want too few, but you don't want too many either. Okay. Oi! The dogs are playing. They're playing with each other. And also annoying me. This looks very harsh at the moment with these freckles, but I'm going to blend them down. One. one up there, quite a harsh one, that one, and that one. Right, I'm going to blend them down because they will only annoy me otherwise. So I'm just going to touch them down. Ah, there's the pencil I was looking for. Okay, so the way that I would blend these down so they're barely noticeable is I would just use my finger. Of course, make sure your fingers are clean first, and I would just touch, just dab on it, and eventually that's going to start disappearing into the skin. All becoming just a little bit more subtle, a bit more blended in, a bit more in keeping with the picture you're doing, hopefully. So we're going to do go over once. Just to get the subtlety. Right, and what I'm also going to do is to find my white and just gently glaze over the top of them. By the time I've done this, you should barely notice them. That's good there. please feel free to chat if you're out there. So I'm going to leave the freckles for now, and I will probably revisit them just to make sure, really more than anything, that I've got enough and that they're light enough. Right, let's have a look at this part of the hair. What I want is to then bring this over here. I need to sharpen my pencil, really. Let's have a sharpen. I haven't got a pot to sharpen into. Yeah, this will do. Need some sharp, thin lines. That's why I'm sharpening it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. Feels like I could do with a new blade in this. It's not too bad. Okay, let's just sharpen that bit. You have to excuse my dogs. Every time they hear a car, they bark. My wife. And my neighbour, by the sound of it. Sharpen the tip. Hello. Leyland, is that? Hope you're having a good afternoon. That'll do. Let's see if we can get them sharp lines now. UK, what about you? That's back there. I'm from the UK, Leyland. What about you? Wow. My granddaughter has a bit of a thing for Korea. She likes Squid Games, believe it or not. Mind you, don't we all? I love Squid Games. And one of my favourite artists is from Korea as well. I think it's Blue Name. I think he's from Korea. Just blows my mind knowing that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for subscribing. It's very kind. It's not my daughter. My granddaughter. Yeah, sorry, I'm with you now. Sorry. Oh, not concentrating, am I? Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing this portrait for a friend of mine. So, pressure's on. I like a bit of pressure, but wow, it's pressure when you've got quite a difficult picture is quite another thing. But it will get there. Everything does. Just trust the process. It's no good saying it's no good until you've done enough. going to keep mentioning it, but if anybody wants to do a super chat, I'd love to see how that works, because I've never had one yet. I've not done many live streams, haven't said that, but I'd love to see how a super chat works. I expect one day I will. Okay, let's have a look at this here. Let's get my sepia again. Let's just do this bit here. I need to move forward a bit, and I'm kind of getting stuck on just doing the same bit. So if I do this bit, hopefully it will give me the impetus I need to move forward. Well, that's the plan. Well, Sue, you really don't need to, but that's very kind of you. But for anybody that does want to know, there's a little $sign, a little S down where it says chat. Well, there is on my screen anyway. And I believe you press that, choose what option you want, and then obviously contribute that way. So I'm glad you're still with me, Sue. I haven't put you off yet. Oh dear. The way I believe it works is that you will get your comment put up in highlights in the color that you choose, or I mean, I think that all depends on how much is contributed. I'm not really sure. It's a way for us content creators to try and perhaps just earn a little bit more money from this, and it's also a way for subscribers to well, basically say thank you, I believe, you know, a bit like being a member, but it's a one-off rather than a monthly thing. Let's have a look here. So I need to come down here like this. Across there like that. There's all sorts of things on this YouTube that until they happen, you don't really know what they are. So that comes round over like that. This then comes round here like this. And that goes in there like that. Okay. Sometimes it's good to talk your way through it. And hopefully you find out where you are and where you're missing. So that's that. And then that comes there like that. And around there like that. Yeah, I can see I've already put them and laid them in brown. Just I need to go darker. Right. Oh my God, this is complicated. Oh dear. Okay. Bring that around there again. It's quite dark in there. Quite dark in here. I think I frightened everybody off when I spoke about super chats. Right. Let's have a look. Where's that ready brown? I think that's the one. Right. Okay. I'm just going to blend that. Get an orange. That'll do. Okay, right. I'm just going to have a little bit of a glaze over the top. And then I think for today, I'm going to call that a day because I need to concentrate on this a bit. get some of the freshness back to it. And then be able to step away from it for a little while. Need to work on that bit as well. This bit I really like, I have to say. I think that's come out really well. This bit here, really nice. Right, I think what I want more than anything is a cup of tea. So I'm going to love you and leave you now. Thank you for watching, whoever you are, wherever you are, and definitely you, Sue, because I know where you are. Have a great afternoon. I'll catch up with you later. I'm probably do a little bit of this offline now, maybe later today, and then I'll come back perhaps to do some more of this down here. So take care, everyone. See you later.